Hey guys, we're on Combat Survivor here. Alright, this is gonna be kind of along the vein. Mike's been doing some videos about he's labeling them ghost stories, about weird stuff that's happened in his life, and he's kind of peer pressuring me to hop in there and do some stuff that, I guess we've all had kind of weird experiences in our life, right? So see, I don't even know if I want to do this video before I even fucking do it. I don't even know if I want to do it, much less post it. But I guess if you see this, that means what the hell I put it up. But all right, so when I was a kid, we've always lived in big houses. I don't know. I guess it's just a thing. My mother, I guess, liked big houses. I don't know. Anyway, we lived in a big house, relatively large, I guess. It's a 3-story plus basement, 5-bedroom house. It was a row house, so I guess that's a little odd for a house that size. But anyway, when I was a kid, see, it's hard to do a video like this in the time constraint that you have for YouTube because there's so much going on that you have to give a backstory for because you guys aren't going to know any of the backstory. So, all right, I have a cousin. Right, when I was a kid. My cousins basically lived with us. And my aunt always had a place, but, well, maybe not always, but usually she had a place. But at the end of the day, I'd say 300 days a year, at least. Probably more like 350 days a year. My cousins were crashing at my house, right? So we lived in this house in Fishtown. Anybody knows Philly knows Fishtown. And, my one cousin, she was born a little slow. Not not incapable of doing anything, but enough that when you talked to her, you knew that something was wrong, something was off. So anyway, my aunt was completely afraid of her, and to the point that when my cousin did something wrong, my aunt would start ranting. She'd start yelling or whatever. She was gonna spank her, whatever she was gonna do. And my cousin would tell her, "I hear you." And you could watch, man. My aunt would, the color would wash out of her face. And now this is probably gonna sound ridiculous if you don't know her, but my cousin knew what the hell you were thinking. I don't mean she could guess. I mean, she could fucking tell you word for word what you were thinking. So that's important for the story, although that's not what the story's about. That's important for the story because she used to always talk about the little boy. And now, understand, when I say my cousins lived with us, there was a herd of kids in that house because I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers. One sister and 1 brother didn't live with us. That long story. But so I had 3 sisters and my brother that lived there, and actually my one sister wasn't born yet. And then I had 5 cousins that were basically living there. So the house was full of kids, and my cousin would always talk about the little boy. She talked to the little boy this, the little boy that. And she was, I guess, maybe a year and a half or 2 years older than I am. We moved out of that house when I was 4, so, I was a little kid when all this was going on. She would talk about the little boy. And sometimes she would sit around and talk to him. Like, you'd go upstairs, you can go upstairs, use the bathroom, or go in your room, or whatever, and she'd be standing in the hallway having a conversation. Now, my cousin, like I said, she had a noticeable problem, and so that's kind of where we chalked that off. Even when I was a kid, I was 3, 4 years old, I understood this. I have a lot of memories of that house. But here's the most vivid one. I have that house. This is maybe I don't know, 6 months or so before we moved out of that house. It's the middle of the night. It's dark. It was an old house, so when the wind would blow, I don't know if any of you have lived in a house that had the old wooden windows, but when the wind blows, you'd hear them fucking windows rattling, you know? And we used to have ducks in the yard. And when I was a little kid, I thought that when that window would rattle like that, I thought those ducks in the yard were flying up and pecking at the window because they wanted to get in or something like that. You know, I don't know. Little kids think crazy shit, right? So there was a lot of rattling going on. The bedroom I had didn't have an outside window. It was like an inside, bedroom. So, but that rattling, I don't know what woke me up, but I woke up and I had to go to the bathroom. And I heard the windows rattling down at the end of the hall towards the end that the bathroom was. And my older sister had one of the bedrooms upstairs. And the other bedroom upstairs, I forget who was in that one. Anyway, right next to my bedroom was my parents' bedroom, up the hall. Down the hall is where the bathroom was. So it's pitch black, because like I said, there's no windows in this part of the house. Only the front and the back had windows. It's a row house. So it's pitch black. There's no lights on. It's the middle of the night. And so I step out of my bedroom, and I'm going to, I'm ready to feel my way down the hall to the bathroom. Because I can't even turn the light on from my end of the hallway, because the light switch to turn the light on in the hall is down the other end at the top of the staircase. So so I step out. I'm ready to feel my way down the hallway. And as soon as I step out, standing down at the other end of the hallway is a little boy. Completely, it wasn't really like there was a light on him. It was still dark. There wasn't any light like glowing off of this kid, but he was clearly visible. Now the only windows available that were behind me, which could have lit the kid up, I guess, from the outside, except my parents' bedroom door was closed, and there was a doorway behind them. That bedroom had windows, but that door was also closed. The only doors on that second floor that were open that could have possibly been a light source was my bedroom door, which didn't have windows and the light wasn't on. And that still wouldn't have lit him up because my door came out this way and that kid was down that way, so it wouldn't have lit him. If that light was on, I wouldn't have been able to see down that hallway. I just see this kid. In my mind's eye, he's a little kid, but I don't know, maybe he was 5, 6 years old, something like that, 8 years old, in that, a little kid. And he's standing there, he's wearing an orange sweatshirt, and it has a big number 9 on it. And that kid is standing down at that end of the fucking hall looking at me. And you know how little kids do when they want you to pick them up? They kind of hold their arms out to you, and they'll hold their hands out like they want you to... Well, I look down that hallway, and that kid's standing there, and he's looking at me, and he's got like a smile on his face. And he reaches his hands out like he wants me to pick him up. Now, mind you, at maximum, I'm 4 years old because we moved here when I was 4, 2 weeks after my 4th birthday. So, at maximum, I'm fucking 4 years old, right? And this kid's holding his hands out like he wants me to pick him up. Well, needless to say, I didn't go to the bathroom. And I didn't tell people that story for fucking years, man. I probably shouldn't be telling that story now. So anyway, that's a lot of weird shit happened in that house, and I remember a lot of it. And that's a pretty mild one. I don't know if I have time here, but I think I have time to toss in another one real quick about that same kid. So this happened. I'm a little kid. It didn't freak me out in the way that you would think it would. Maybe because I was so young, or I don't know. I was one of those kids that wasn't afraid of shit. I mean, not that kind of stuff anyway. So I didn't freak out too much about it. But now there had to have been at least some amount of time between when that happened and when we moved out of there. Because it was long enough later that I'd settled down and I didn't really think about it anymore. I thought about it like a motherfucker for a couple of weeks, but I didn't really think about it. So This is, oh, I don't know how long later. When you got a bunch of kids, kids do crazy shit. One night, everybody is sleeping upstairs on the third floor in the front bedroom, where there is a window. 3 windows, whatever. So, I decide, I don't remember exactly what the situation was. I was sleeping on the floor up there, and I know I was cold. I got up because I was cold, and I decided I'm going to go down to my bedroom and get in my bed. And, it wasn't that late, and my mom's always been kind of a night owl, so I get up, and I'm walking down the hallway towards the staircase from the third floor down to the second floor. And my mother yells up the steps from the first floor. She was down in, I don't know, the kitchen or the fucking living room. I don't know where she was down there. But she yells up something along the lines of, you better get your ass in bed or I'm going to come up there and, kick your ass, whatever she said. I don't remember exactly what it was, but at the end of the day, every one of us is up on the third floor, all of us. I don't know who she's yelling to. I hear this fucking kind of pounding, this kind of squeaking. I'm like, I'm curious. This is long enough after that other incident that I'm not thinking about it, and fucking lights are on. So, you're protected when the lights are on when you're a kid. So I flipped the light on, before she yelled. So I go down the steps and I'm creeping. I'm being quiet, man, because she's yelling at somebody. Somebody's going to get their ass kicked and it ain't going to be me. So I'm creeping down these fucking steps. And my bedroom door, you get to the bottom of the steps that go from the third floor. There's a landing and you got to make a 90-degree turn because there's a fucking wall in front of you. So I turn and my bedroom door is right there. So I reach out. I'm real careful. Grab the doorknob, you hold it so it doesn't make noise. I creep it over. Oh, that little click it makes. I'm cringing because I'm thinking I'm going to get beat. But the whole fucking time, that squeak is going on. And it's, it's pretty loud. It's like a thumping squeak. I don't know what the hell's going on, but fuck that. I'm getting in my room. So I get that doorknob turned, and I push the door open real fast because I don't want it to squeak. And if you push it open real fast, sometimes, the squeak is real quick. And I'm gonna bust into this room and close the door real fast. And then whoever's getting their ass kicked, it ain't me. Well, I never got to that point because I opened that fucking door and that same kid is on my bed. Fucking jumping up and down. That's the noise, man. That's the squeaking and the pounding. That kid, that's what my mom was yelling upstairs about. That kid just jumps. Keeps fucking jumping. And I'm sitting there watching him. What the fuck do you do, right? So I'm sitting there watching this kid. He's jumping. He jumps maybe 3-4 times, and then he starts jumping higher. And over the course of maybe 3 or 4 jumps, he keeps going. Maybe the 4th jump after he starts going higher, his fucking head goes right through the ceiling. And that kid is just hanging there, and he lets out this blood-curdling fucking scream. And now I know I'm not the only one that heard this, because 9 fucking kids upstairs, I heard them all jump, and they all came down those stairs like a fucking herd of elephant. And every one of us went down the hall and down those stairs into the living room, where my mom was, watching TV or whatever the fuck it was. But let me tell you, every light in that first floor was on for the rest of that night. Now, nobody else saw what else happened there, but they all heard that fucking scream. It woke the whole house up. And I don't know if the neighbors ever said anything because, we were kind of loud and I heard the kids in there. So even if there was a noise that the neighbors heard, they probably would have never said anything about it. But so there you go. There's the 2 stories. They happened to me when I was a kid. Like I said, I was at maximum 4 years old when the second one happened. So, I guess you could chalk it up to a bunch of shit, kids' imagination, dreaming. But I'll tell you this. I was fucking awake both times. Both times I was wide awake. And I remember both very vividly. So, anyway, there's a couple stories. I don't even know if I'm going to put this shit up, man. Urban Combat Survivor, signing off.